What's up, everyone? I'm Coach D, and once again, I want to thank you guys for all the support that I've been getting. It doesn't go unnoticed, and it's been amazing. So please keep liking, keep sharing, keep commenting, keep subscribing to my page. I really do appreciate you guys. So Donald Trump had a rally recently at Madison Square Garden. And a lot of people are saying that it reminds them of something we would have seen in the 1930s from a certain someone from Germany. And rightfully so. There was a comedian there who made a bunch of racist jokes, and because of the backlash that Donald Trump and his campaign are getting, they're trying to do damage control. Sadly, they're not doing a good job of that because they're not actually apologizing for what the comedian said. They're saying that the media shouldn't be jumping on this. They shouldn't be paying attention to this. They should be paying attention to all the good things that were said at the rally outside of what was said by the comedian.
This morning, the mainstream media has picked up on the comics' comments, which were offensive, have been denounced by the campaign and everybody else. What went on with that?
Look, it was a comedian who made a joke in poor taste. Obviously, that joke does not reflect the views of President Trump or our campaign. And I think it is sad that the media will pick up on one joke that was made by a comedian rather than the truths that were shared by the phenomenal list of speakers that we had. We had congressmen and women. We had Senator J.D. Vance. We had Dana White, friends of the president. Dan Scavino, my colleague and friend, who shared very intimate moments with President Trump when they were in the hospital in Butler, Pennsylvania, really showing the truth about President Trump and his heart of gold. And the crowd, they didn't mind, right? Again, it was a diverse group of people. The joke fell flat, but the crowd was there because they know who President Trump is, and they know he wants to be a president for all Americans.
So earlier today, I posted a video about one of the racist jokes he made about black people. He pointed some black guy out in the audience, and then he said, "Oh, I went to my black friend's house this weekend, and we carved watermelons for Halloween." Then he talked about Puerto Rico and basically said something to the effect of Puerto Rico being a pile of trash floating on water. And here's the thing. I don't accept these people acting like they didn't know what that comedian was going to talk about. I don't accept them acting like they didn't know what his jokes were going to be about. I go to a lot of comedy shows. Before I go to a comedy show, I look the comedian up on YouTube. I want to make sure that if I'm paying for someone, I'm going to actually be laughing at them. You don't get booked at a presidential candidate's rally in Madison Square Garden without being vetted. You don't get booked at a presidential candidate's rally in Madison Square Garden without people knowing exactly what you are going to say. For them to say, yeah, you know, it's weird, the joke was offensive or the joke fell flat, as if they didn't know. And Patriot Takes on Twitter, they've posted many resurfaced tweets by this comedian that were absolutely racist and offensive as well. And they were posted since 2011. Donald Trump, Magas, and Republicans know exactly who this guy is. She even said it. The crowd didn't mind. The crowd laughed because that's what they expect at a Trump rally. They expect to hear racist jokes about black people and Hispanic people. They expect to hear misogyny towards women. This is what they expect. And so they laughed and they thought nothing of it. But again, they knew exactly who he was when they booked him. They can do the damage control now and act like they can't believe what they heard and all that. But no. And here's one thing you notice from the Fox News anchors. They said the campaign has denounced it. You know who hasn't denounced it? Donald Trump. Donald Trump has not denounced himself what that comedian said because he agrees with him. And this is why I have zero respect for black conservatives and blacks for Trump and Latinos for Trump. These people sit in these audiences and they are the black person and the Hispanic person that racist white people point to when they say, joke wasn't that bad. That guy was laughing at it. Oh, Byron Donalds was sitting right there. He didn't say anything. Couldn't have been that bad. These people sit there. They hear these jokes and they pretend they don't matter and they just keep on tap, tap, tap dancing and licking boots. This is what they do. And again, I have zero respect for these black conservatives, these Latinos for Trump, these blacks for Trump, who are the black face and brown face to their racism. They are the excuse they use for being racist. It's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting, and it's insulting to our intelligence that they're trying to tell us they didn't know that comedian was going to say the things that he said. And you know what else is insulting to our intelligence? The fact that they're acting like the comedian said the only offensive things at that rally. Donald Trump constantly says racist, misogynistic, and bigoted things at his rallies. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, called Kamala Harris a devil. These people daily go to these podiums at these Trump rallies and say the most offensive things. So the fact that they're trying to distance themselves from this comedian is crazy to me, because they are exactly that themselves. They just don't do it under the guise of being comedians. Donald Trump has been, ecstatic about taking the endorsement of Mel Gibson, someone we've heard multiple times use the N-word. He's ecstatic to cozy up with Laura Loomer, who has said racist things, calls every black person who's successful a DEI hire, has called anything that has to do with Black history woke, and has said that Donald Trump is more black than Kamala Harris because he's a convicted felon and has 3 baby mamas. This is who they are. This is what they think about you, and they keep telling you, but you just don't seem to be listening. I'm talking to you, Byron Donalds. I'm talking to you, Tim Scott. I'm talking to you, Officer Tatum. I'm talking to you, Candace Owens. I'm talking to you, Terrence Williams. I'm talking to every single one of you buck dancing, boot licking, black conservatives out there who sit there and put a black face on their racism and don't do anything about it. You guys are despicable, and you should be ashamed of yourself. But you know what? You're not, because you don't care. You don't love yourself. You don't love your family. You're doing this for the money and the nice little pat on the head that you get from Donald Trump and the other conservatives. And it's sad. It's absolutely sad that you guys sold yourselves out for a couple of bucks and a pat on the head. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in their heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.